Anand Prabhu, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, namaste, sir.
Yes.
Namaste, sir. Sir, we have our respected register along with us, sir.
Namaskara. Namaskara, sir.
Madam, we'll start, madams. Good afternoon, sir. Namaste, sir. Hello, ma'am. Madam,
Yeah, Pankaja. Yeah, I think we can start.
we'll start, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. Warm welcome to Anand for the webinar on awareness on cybercrime prevention and detection, which is being organized under VTU cell Belgavi. So it is under Women's Cell VTU Belgavi, which is being addressed by Professor Anand Prabhu, who is a professor in computer science engineering and cyber security and cyber law trainer too. A warm welcome to all the participants. Firstly, so in the recent trends, we have seen technology has been developing fast, where technology has been a boon and bane too. And it is seen due to the pandemic situation, a rapid increase of mobile phones and other online platforms has been increased gradually. Well, one of the global social media research summary, which has been taken in August 2020, says that global media users are now spending an average of 2.5 hours per day using multiple networking sites. And also sources says that as per the India Statistics 2020, where highest number of users is basically seen in the youngsters of age group of 18 to 24 using social media and Facebook platform. So in this regard, where as I told initially, technology has been a boom and also a bane. Anything we hide, so like a face of a coin, both the positive and negative is there. So prevention is always better than taking a reactive measure. In this regard, we under Women's Cell have organized this webinar on cybercrime, where the speaker will be sharing out certain tips and also would be giving us some highlights about cybercrime. On this occasion, I give my my heartful thanks to Professor Deshpande sir, Registrar, VT Belagavi, for joining us for this session. We have with us Namaste sir. Thank you for taking the time and joining us for the session. Professor Deshpande sir, as immediately when this proposal was put up to our VTU Belagavi office, sir, without any second thought, has approved this proposal, and he also told that he has been encouraging lots of activities under Women's Cell, and there are series of other seminars and conferences which has been scheduled also. We have with us Dr. T.C. Tanuja, who is the chairperson, Women's Cell. Welcome to the webinar, madam. And Srimati Vani Shri Raghuravir, who is a member of Women's Cell. Welcome to the seminar. And we have the esteemed speaker today, Dr. Anand Prabhu. Thank you, sir, for accepting our request and joining us to the webinar. And we are waiting eagerly for your session. And I request now Professor Tanuja ma'am to give the welcome address. Madam, over to you.
Thank you, Pankaja. Ellarigu namaskara. This webinar on awareness on cybercrime prevention and detection is being organized under Women's Cell VTU Belgavi. Women's Cell had been set up in 2015 to bring gender equality in the university and work towards elimination of violence and discriminatory practices against women, and to help the women employees and students to attain their full potential in their profession. And also Women's Cell has taken up to establish childcare center for employees and students of VTU, and to provide services of the counselor to the staff and students of VTU. All these objectives are being achieved through various committees established under Women's Cell, such as Internal Complaints Committee, Women Empowerment Committee, Crush Committee, and also Counseling Committee. As a part of International Women's Day 2020 in the month of March, This program was organized as per the directions of, and it was organized, but as per the directions of UGC, it had been postponed. Since all of us are in the digital era, we have been using everything. We are going for a digitization. So we thought that we are very responsible in using the social media and internet for any purpose. In this view, we thought this activity is very essential and requested Professor Anand Prabhu, who is an expert in this field, to provide an awareness. So on behalf of VTU, and I wholeheartedly welcome you, Sir Professor Anand Prabhu, sir. I feel pleasure to welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Karisiddhappa, sir, respected Registrar, Professor Anand Deshpande, sir, and Registrar Evaluation, Professor Annagiri, sir, Finance Officer, Srimati M.A. Sapna, Madam, all the chairpersons of various departments of the VTU, and regional directors of all the centers, section heads, special officers, and all the teaching and non-teaching staff of the university, all the members of the Women's Cell, and last but not least, all the participants of this event. I thank all the participants who have registered for this program. I think as per yesterday's count, it was crossed. The participant registration was crossed more than 500. I think it is that shows this event is very much essential event for each and every person. I thank you, Pankaja. So I over to you, Pankaja.
Thank you, Madam, for the welcome address. I take this opportunity to invite respected Registrar, Professor Anand Deshpande, sir, VTU Belgavi, to address the gathering, sir. Over to Professor.
Namaskaram, very good afternoon. Dr. Anand Prabhu, a professor from Sayagri College of Engineering and an expert. Mrs. Manishri, Mrs. Pankivakshi, and all the participants. At the outset, I must place on record our special thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Karisiddhappa, who has been always with us in all such endeavors. Of course, the Women's Cell in VTU has been doing a fantastic job. I've been observing the activities, the way, the proposals are handled. We get so many complaints, and how these complaints are addressed is being done in a very, very professional manner, by our Women's Cell, which is being headed by Dr. Tanuja. Of course, this particular program on cybercrime prevention and detection, absolutely a much needed topic which should be made known to all the stakeholders. Of course, Professor Anand Prabhu, I know him for past many years. I did interact with him closely, way back in the year, I think 7-8 years back, and of course he has been the part of VTU family all through. Thank you, Mr. Anand Prabhu, for accepting our invitation and being with us. As rightly said by Dr. Pankivakshi, of course, the IT is something which is the part of our life. Now, just if we look back, 1985, we hardly had the PC. But the 1995, it was not possible to stay without PC, but the internet had just begun. 2005, it was just not possible to stay without internet with the moderate speeds. 2015, 2025 is approaching. It's just not possible for us to think of staying without high-speed internet bandwidth. Gone are those days when we used to say that I would like to work in a typical standalone mode. We need to be networked. And this networking is becoming so strong and so effective because of this IT revolution. And this IT revolution has also invited so many issues. Of course, the bandwidth, the internet, and the kind of connect we have across globe has given us many avenues to learn and grow. But also there are many challenges and issues which have been seen by all the stakeholders. Always said that is roti kapra makan or network. And of course, it's gone one step beyond to take a makan or high-speed network. Normal network is not enough for anybody. So the cyber crime or the cyber security issues are probably the most important issues that should be made known to the stakeholders. As I understand, in India, in the year 2019, the growth in the cyber crime, the cases is been shot up by almost 64%. And most of the crimes are happening for fraud. There are many cases which are happening because of the sexual exploitation, uh, some cases for disrepute, and you find that the cases, the challenges are increasing. And there are many ways of securing your network. There are many technologies to protect your system. But in spite of all these measures which are available, we see there are loopholes, there are gaps, and this particular, uh, the gap and the openings are going to go as we move on. So I think understanding about the cyber crimes, understanding about how we should be careful to ensure that we don't get into these kind of issues and ensure that our data, our privacy, and we are totally safe and secure. And I think Dr. Anand Prabhu would certainly give us some insight into it. Of course, I understand not all are from the computer science background. So, but nevertheless, IT is something which has been the part of everybody. And with the tips and the inputs from Dr. Anand Prabhu, certainly all our viewers, all our participants would get some good knowledge, and certainly it is going to add to their secure profile. With me first, once again, I thank our Women's Cell for organizing today's program, and special thanks to Dr. Anand Prabhu for being with us. Thank you very much.
Uh, Thank you, sir, for sharing certain highlights and the essentials of cybercrime as a stakeholder, as a mother, as a teacher, as an academician. Because the major technologies used now currently is in academic world and in the IT world. Thank you for highlighting certain things about cybercrime, sir. And now we have with the esteemed speaker, Professor Dr. Anand Prabhu. A brief profile about Dr. Anand Prabhu to you all. Dr. Anand Prabhu is basically a Bachelor of Engineering from Computer Science, Master of Technology in Computer Science, Masters in Administration in Information Technology, Diploma in Cyber Law, Doctor of Philosophy from Computer Engineering, and he also holds a postdoctoral fellow from Computer Science and Technology. Dr. Anand Prabhu is currently holding a position as Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Sahyadri College of Engineering and Management. His areas of interest are cybercrime investigation, cyber law. He has conducted more than 1,500 workshops across India and more. As a trainer at Karnataka Judicial Academy, Bangalore, Karnataka Police Academy, Mysore, a police training school, Gulbarga, Mangalore City Police. He is an administrator in Cybercrime Knowledge Group, Judiciary, Cybercrime Knowledge Group, Police Crime Knowledge Group, and Public Prosecutors. He is also holding a position as Director, Sarfas Academy. Professor Anand Prabhu has published, as an academician, he has published more than 20 papers in reputed journals and also have a list of big bookstores credentials. To name a few, a book on Little Black Book for Teachers, Little Black Book for Students, I Own the Monk's Ferrari Glorious, Bharat Part 1 and 2, The Text Message That Killed Me, Cyber Safe Girl V3.0, The Samurai Who Sold a Suzuki, and My Grandfather's Balance Sheet. The list goes on. He is also recognized as one among the 30 unsung heroes of India by India Today 2019. Thank you, sir. We are happy. We have pleasure and happy to have you as our speaker. Over to Dr. Anand Prabhu, sir, to share the session on cybercrime awareness, prevention, and detection. Thank you, sir, for being a part of the webinar. Over to you, sir. Sir, the mic is mute, sir. Your mic is mute.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for the kind introduction. On the very onset, I would like to thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, his for giving us the opportunity for being a part of this program. And also, I would like to offer my obeisances and respects to the Honorable Registrar, sir, Professor Deshpande, sir. So he has always been a well-wisher and a guide to me. So I'm grateful to you, sir. Thank you very much. And when ma'am said that as soon as the proposal was placed, you had immediately accepted it. So that shows the love and the affection that you have towards me. So thank you very much for the opportunity, sir. Well, I will be sharing the presentation right now. I would also like to thank Pankajakshi ma'am and Tanuja ma'am for so nicely coordinating, because coordination and making sure that things fall in place is a very important aspect. So I know how difficult it is, because I have also been a part of the university in the year 2012. So since then, I know how much of efforts get into it. So thanks to the entire team, Somshekhar ji from the IT and everybody. So I would share my presentation right now. Two things. Number one, if at all my network breaks, because as you know, a rapid development is happening here in Mangalore, and Mangalore is becoming a smart city. So a lot of roads are getting constructed, and everything is happening. So there are chances of the network outage happening because of some digging work and all that. But I always have my secondary internet line on place. So within a very short span of time, if at all I get disconnected, I would get reconnected, number one. And second thing is, if you have any questions, there will be a Q&A session in the end, and I would make sure that each and every question that you shoot will be answered. So let me share the presentation screen with your permission. So is the presentation screen visible to all of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So for the next 1 hour, I would be talking about the new generation cyber crimes. As Registrar Sir has rightly said, the crimes are increasing at an exponential rate. And since we are all dependent upon high bandwidth network, similarly, the number of cases have also gone up like crazy. So let's talk about it in some time. But before that, we have all been battling COVID since February, March now. And ISEA, that is the Information Security Education and Awareness, which is a Government of India initiative, has come out with excellent posters right from March. Okay, so I would like to show the posters to you. So the poster has got two parts. On the left side, you have what are the precautions that you need to take in order to keep yourselves safe from COVID. And on the right side, you have the precautions that you need to take in order to keep yourself safe from cybercrime. So there are hundreds of such posters, and I request each one of you attending this webinar to please visit the ISCA website and download these posters, because every day we keep sending so many things on WhatsApp, because we have various groups and we keep sending forwards and things like that. But I feel if you could also send these informative posters along with the regular stuff that you send, then definitely it would help not just you, but also your near and dear ones to stay safe from COVID, as well as to stay safe from cyber crimes. So for which this is the QR code. I request you to please scan the QR code and you can visit that website. Okay, so a QR code is a quick response code, because I was told that there are people who are from other backgrounds also, so I would be talking from the basics, so kindly excuse me if you already know certain things. But for the benefit of everybody attending this webinar, QR is quick response code. It is a two-dimensional code which can be scanned using your phone or any QR reader, and when you scan it, it can display the information that is stored in this very small area. Now, the point here is, every QR code looks the same. Okay. And off lately, a lot of scams have been happening on OLX and other websites wherein somebody sends you a QR code and you don't know what exactly that QR code is. You scan the code and then they tell you they're going to transfer money and you're going to enter your UPI and the money goes off from your account. Therefore, the golden rule here is beware before you scan a QR code, because QR codes, though they are very useful, you in fact do not know where it leads you. So unless and until you are very much aware about the link that you're going to click on, please do not scan such QR codes. So there are many crimes, because in the year 2017, when I came out with the Cyber Safe Girl, the first version, 15 crimes were noted. And then the version 2 had 25 crimes, that is in the year 2018. And now it's 2020, and now there are 30 crimes which are there. And I'm glad that the Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, recently was also presented with a copy of the Cyber Safe Girl book. And I will also make sure that the latest version, that is the version 3, I'll send a good number of copies to the university shortly so that it can be kept in the departmental library and also sent to the various regional centers, because 30 different crimes, and what are the various precautions that you need to take in order to browse the internet responsibly and how to stay cyber safe. And the main theme of this, the entire book or the entire project is Beti Bachao Cyber Crime Se. Many people asked me, like, why Beti Bachao? Why not Bete Ko Bachao? Because, you know, cyber crime is not just gender specific. It's gender neutral. It can happen to any boy or girl. But then I was very much inspired by the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao project of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. And as an extension to that, the Beti Bachao Cyber Crime Se was done. I was glad that in the year 2019, that is last year, I was recognized as one among the 30 unsung heroes of India for this project by India Today. Well, so we have all come a long way, because the registrar sir rightly said 1985 no computer, 1995 came computers, and right now we can't live without computers. So we have come a long way from landline hacking to cryptojacking. Okay, so what cryptojacking is, I'll talk about it later. But from landline hacking, you know, because I think many of you must be having this experience wherein you had two phones at home, one in the hall and one in the bedroom. And when somebody used to talk from the hall, you used to sit in the bedroom and just take the receiver and used to eavesdrop, used to listen to what the other person was talking. So some people went the extra mile. They walked the extra mile. They went to the junction box, and there they used to put the receiver and they used to listen to random conversations and things like that. So from 1990, that is the generation 1, till to 2020, that is generation 5, we have come a long way. Right now in 2020, we call this as the generation 5, where large-scale multi-vector mega attacks are carried. I don't know if you know this, but yesterday Google was down for about 45 minutes. We still don't know why. But for 45 minutes, most of the services were down. And many of these multinational companies and the banks, every organization, hospitals are currently facing a lot of cyber attacks. So we will be seeing the different cyber attacks in some time. But I want you to know that cyber attack can happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody, because my guru, Sanjay Sahai sir, always tells hacking is the new normal. So when I asked sir, so what do you mean by this hacking is the new normal? So sir told me, Anand, out of the Fortune 500 companies, 95% of the companies have been hacked or compromised in one way or the other. And I was like shocked. But then I was again happy, because 5% of the companies are at least safe. So I told him, sir, it is good that 5% are safe. He told me, like, who told you this? So I said, sir, I've done my engineering. I know 100 minus 95 is 5. He said, Anand, 95% of the companies have been hacked or compromised in one way or the other. 5% of the companies don't know that they're hacked or compromised, which means many of us do not know. Many of us do not know that our digital devices have been compromised, because in the year 1995 a child used to be happy flying a kite, but that same child, not the same child, of course he has grown, but a child of a similar age in the year 2020 will not be flying a kite, but he would be flying a drone. And you know that drones are digital devices, drones are processors, drones are mini computers, so you know it can cause a lot of damage and dangers as well. So 2010, helicopter, pilot, cameraman, camera. 2020, everything replaced by one single drone. So you can just see, in if we do not upgrade ourselves, we become obsolete, because what was rampant in 2010, it is not to be seen in 2020. So we have to constantly upgrade ourselves, because that is the new normal. So before that, in India, if you have to drive a car or if you have to ride a two-wheeler, you are expected to go to the RTO office, give your LLR exam, which people at the age of 16 can give, and then they can give their license exam, that is at the age of 18. And only upon clearing that exam, which will have questions from Indian Motor Vehicle Act, they get the license. And only after that, they are allowed to drive their cars or ride their bikes. Isn't it so? But unfortunately, in India, even in my family, I have a nephew who is 3 years old, and he does not eat food if he is not given with an iPad, and he knows which button to press, which link to click on, and where to go in order to play his nursery rhymes. So which means even a 3-year-old child will be using internet. Now the question is there any law in India that governs the internet? Yes, there is a law called the Information Technology Act 2000, which was revised after that many a times. But the point here is, how many of us know the cyber law? Because unfortunately, in the schools and PU colleges, they do not teach cyber law. In most of the degree programs also, they do not teach cyber law. Now, let me just tell you, cyber law, the Information Technology Act, has got 13 chapters, okay, 13 chapters, and from section 1 to 90. And like, for example, look at this. Somebody comes to you and tells, there is an iPhone which is costing about 1.3 lakhs. I would like to sell it to you for 15,000 rupees. And you don't know why is he selling it. He tells, I urgently need money, and he's going to sell it. Now, you will be buying it for 15,000 rupees. But as per 66B of the IT Act, receiving a stolen computer or communication device, it attracts an imprisonment up to 3 years or a fine of 1 lakh rupees or both. Now the point here is, how many of us knew this? Because many of us go to the second-hand shops and we buy them, but we don't know whether those computers that we buy, the mobile phones that we buy, whether they are stolen or the genuine stuffs. So many a times what we do is we over the shoulder we look at our friend typing their password, and if you use the password of somebody else, well, it is as per section 66C, it is an offense. Again, there are 3 years of imprisonment or 1 lakh rupees fine. So there are many times I feel people commit crimes not because they don't know that it is a crime, but it is because of the lack of awareness. Okay, similar thing, don't know only, but why? Because the awareness wasn't there. Now, why the awareness isn't there? Because they have not understood how this entire Information Technology Act is functioning. So you must have seen this here. 66 is there, B is there, C is there. Now, where is A? Well, the Supreme Court of India, it struck down 66A because they called it as a draconian law. But there are other sections as well, because many people think that they can post anything that they want. Now, even if you're going to post something like, Anand Prabhu, his mental compass is not right, or he does not know anything. Now, whatever you put, things like that. So it can amount to defamation, or it can amount to many things. So there are a lot of sections. So unfortunately, I have been seeing that a lot of people, because I closely work with the Karnataka Police Academy and Judicial Academy, I've seen so many cases where people are getting arrested or people are falling prey, not because or I should say, it is only because of those people were not aware that such things should not be done. So I'm glad that the Women's Cell has taken up this initiative of spreading awareness, because the key to say goodbye to cyber crimes is awareness. So you have taken the right steps. So congratulations to you. And similarly, there are many acts like that, 67, 67A. So sorry, I'm talking about the sections, 67B, 67C. So different sections like about pornography or about obscene information, because we've been seeing so many, especially of lately after these online classes started. Many teachers were coming and telling me, "Sir, people are joining with random names, and when the online class is going on, some pornography clip is played, or they send some lewd images in the chat box and things like that." So doing that, it is publishing images containing sexual acts, imprisonment up to 7 years. So what can happen to the future of that boy or girl who does this as a part of mischief? But in fact, the repercussions can be terrible. So therefore, people should know what they're doing, because technology is a double-edged sword. So like how you have the benefits, similarly, there are so many drawbacks and so many problems that it can cause. So people should be very aware, well aware about what they're doing, because in the year 2020, we have 4.58 billion users on the internet and 305 billion mails sent every day, 3.5 billion Google searches. So you can imagine the volume. So anybody can sit anywhere in the world and get connected to more than half of the world, because 7.3 billion is the world's population as of now. So you can connect to more than half of the world just by sitting at one place in front of a digital device. So this is the power of technology. And when it comes to technology, of lately, social media is playing a very, very important role. It can be WhatsApp, it can be Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, it can be anything, but it's playing a lot of very important role. But please understand, whatever you do on the internet, please do not think that you can get away. Absolutely wrong. There you will be leaving the digital footprints, just like how you leave your footprints when you commit a crime. Similarly, you commit a crime online, you will leave digital footprints. As Edmund Locard, who's called as the Sherlock Holmes of France, has rightly said, every contact by a criminal leaves behind a trace. So this is not with respect to computers, but what he said is, whenever you enter a crime scene, you leave something of you in that crime scene, and you take something from that crime scene and you go. For example, you may leave your sweat, or you may leave your hair or your fingerprints or something like that, or while going you may take some dust, or you may take some bacteria or whatever it is from that place. So a mutual exchange happens when you go to a crime scene. Similarly, whenever you do any activity on the computer, for example, even if you open a file or even if you delete a file, because we have been seeing the other day, one teacher was telling me, "Sir, I had kept the internal assessments question paper in the computer, but some of the questions have changed. How can you get to know?" Well, there are tools which can help me understand the last activity view. So what was the last activity done? At what time was that file opened? Or whether it was edited, whether it was deleted. So you can get any details. Similarly, you can also get details about the USB drives also. So if you put a USB drive into a computer, I can use a USB historian and find out which was a plug and play device that was used. What did you do with that device, and so on and so forth. So a lot of digital footprints are left behind. People think that they have very easily escaped, but that's wrong. Remember, my dear friends, what you had searched, I repeat, what you had searched 10 years ago on Google. Okay, on Google, you had searched, pictures of Aishwarya Rai back then. Okay, even today, those records would be saved in the Google servers. Probably you might have deleted the history from your desktop, from your client system, you might have deleted the history, or from your Google activity board, you might have deleted it. But in their servers, it's going to stay. So whatever you do on the internet, it is going to stay. So just to begin with, how many of you have done a Google search about yourself? So that's the point here. How many of you have searched for yourself? Of course, you must have searched for Hrithik Roshan, you must have searched for Narendra Modi ji, you must have searched for Biden and things like that. But how many of you have searched for yourself? So this is one thing that I want you to do after today's workshop, where you will be searching for yourself on Google. Now, because the entire internet, the surface web that you see, anything that is indexed by these search engines is called as a surface web. It's only 4%, my dear friends. It's only 4%. 90% is deep web, which is not indexed. It can be your Gmail. Okay, whatever the email is there in your inbox, it is not indexed by any search engine, but it is there on the internet. So things like hospital records, it can government records, these are all there on the internet. So that's called as a deep web. Similarly, there is 6% of the internet which is called as a dark web, which you cannot very easily access with a regular browser. You require a specialized browser for that. I won't be getting into the details of it, but remember, that is the dark side of the internet, where nefarious activities and all these criminal stuff and pornography and drugs and ammunition and things like that happen. But that is 6%, which means 2% more than a regular surface web. So just to give you a simple example, look at this. I'm going to search for somebody called Jeffrey Bruin. Okay, he cycles and he's from Netherlands. That's all I know. I know only these three things. What are those three things? Jeffrey Bruin, he cycles, he's from Netherlands. Now what I will do is, as soon as I know that he cycles, I'll go to this website called Strava and I will find about him. I will search about Jeffrey Bruin and look at the information that I get. Similarly, I go to Twitter, more information. I go to Yellow Pages, I get to know where his location is. I go to LinkedIn, I get to know his current job, past job, and where he has studied, where his connections are, who the people he usually interacts with, and things like that. I go to Facebook, I get more photos of his child, his wife, everything. You can get so much of information, and this is called as OSINT, my dear friends. It's called as OSINT, OSINT, open source intelligence, which means you can use these tools that are readily available for free. Why can you use them? You are using them in order to find or gather information. Well, now the point here is, I asked you to search for yourself because you never know how much of your private information must have gone public. You never know. You never know whether your phone number is getting displayed in some site. You get to know that only when you search for your phone number. So search for your phone number, search for your name, search for your partner's name, search all these things and do a detailed Google search about yourself. And not just Google, there are other browsers also. So you can use other browsers as well as other search engines also. For example, there is Bing, there is DuckDuckGo and Baidu. There are so many search engines, and not every search engine shows you the same results. So you need to search yourself on different search engines, and then you will get to know much more information. Now look at this. If you found this photograph on my Facebook, okay, or on my website, imagine I have put something like shot at Maldives, okay, shot at Maldives, and everybody is liking it, everybody is commenting. And if somebody gets a doubt, he can download this picture. He can download this picture, and he can go to this website called Pick to Map. Okay, Pick to Map, and he can just upload it, and he gets to know the exact location where the picture was clicked, because 90% of our digital devices used for clicking photographs are phones and those digital cameras which have a GPS chip in them, and most of the photos that we click, automatically the GPS location gets embedded to it. So it will show where the location is. Now the problem here is, this is okay. You might have understood that I'm lying because it's not Maldives. But if I have taken a photo outside my house, my dear friends, I've taken a photo outside my house and I've uploaded it, and the criminal gets to know he gets to know that I've uploaded a photo, he downloads it, he goes to pick to map, and he finds out the exact location where my house is. So it is a clear invitation that I'm giving to the criminal by telling that where my house is. So we have to be very, very careful, because any image has got something called as a meta. And believe me, if at all you upload an image from the meta, we can get so much of information, not just where it was clicked, also which was the camera used, then what is the whether the flash was on or off, or you can also get details like whether any software was used for editing it, what was the shutter speed, what was the aperture. All these data you can get, and this we call it as the EXIF data, or we also call it as the metadata. Therefore, we can get so much of information from just one single photograph, my dear friends. So we have to be very careful before uploading photos, because it can reveal a lot. Okay, so as I said, you have to search for yourself on Google. So this is called as Google dorking, where you hack Google by using different operators. Okay, now see Jeffrey Bruin, you can search with codes, you can search as J Bruin. Like see, for example, Anand Prabhu, you can search as Anand Prabhu Gurpur, or Anand Prabhu G, or Anand PG, things like that. So different combinations. So you can use these operators. There are a lot. For example, you want to search something on VTU website. So you give us site vtu.ac.in and you put anything. Only the results from VTU's site would be shown. Or you want to download a PDF file. So if you put something like cybercrime PDF, you will not only get the PDF files, you will get a lot of other files. But if you put file type PDF and you write cybercrime, then only the PDF files of cybercrime will be available for you for downloading. So you can use these different operators for making your Google results much more efficient. So this is the QR code here. You can scan the QR code and download the PDF file of the various operators on how to dork Google, or in other words, how to hack Google, how to make your search queries more efficient. I know you will not be scanning the QR code, because I've told you scanning QR code is very dangerous. So now you must be thinking at Paytm and other locations, the QR code is there, we have to scan. Of course, you scan. After scanning, it will show you the merchant name. Please show the merchant whether this is your account or not. If he says yes, then transfer the money. Because the other day we came across a crime wherein a cyber criminal has printed QR codes of his account, gone to these shops, and over the existing QR codes, he has put his QR code there. And the poor customers went there and transferred money, and then they thought that the money has reached the vendor, but it has not reached vendor. It had gone to the cyber criminal, and only after many transactions, the owner got a doubt. Why everybody is telling amount deducted, but amount is not reflecting in my Paytm account? Then he realized somebody had put a sticker there. So be very careful with these cyber criminals, because I always say, how much ever intelligent we are, they are 1 or 2 steps ahead of us. So we have to be very careful. So the point here is, how do hackers hack? So hackers take your data. We have been seeing all these things, but then trust me, my dear friends, hackers, actually the real hacking, like brute force or SQL injection or things like that, all these things, I should say less than 5%.
But one humble request, please hide the share tab, because most of the information is getting hidden.
Which one?
The share tab. You have the hide button given there. Next to the stop sharing button, you have the hide option given there. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So a lot of people keep thinking like how these hackers are taking your data. 95% of the times, how the data is taken, let me tell you. Okay, before that, let me just tell you how this brain works. Okay, so human brain is not a computer. So this is the first principle. So computers, you program something, it will behave exactly what you programmed. It will not go to think something beyond that unless and until it is an AI based computer or machine learning based. But if for a regular computer, you program something, it's going to behave exactly. So if somebody tells your brain, don't give your OTP or don't give the CVV number, though your brain is programmed that way, many a times even the educated lot, they end up giving the OTP and CVV. Now, why this happens? Because we make decisions on two types of systems. One, conscious thinking, other, unconscious emotion. For example, our registrar sir, Deshpande sir, comes to me and he just extends his hand. So without thinking, I'm going to extend my hand and I'm going to shake hands with him. Why? Because I have the love and affection towards him. It's an unconscious emotion. I don't have to tell myself whether I should shake hands or not. Now, the point number two, conscious thinking. Now, I have a friend in the VTU, his name is Umesh Chavan. Now, let us assume that Umesh Chavan tells me, Anand, I need 5 lakh rupees. Okay, urgently I need 5 lakh rupees. I will not immediately transfer the money to Chavan's account. Why? Though he's my good friend, but I would think whether I should transfer. Okay, he is my friend, let me transfer. But when would he return the money? What if he doesn't return? So all these thinking happens. So this is called as the conscious thinking. Okay, so two types, unconscious and conscious. But the problem is, my dear friends, many a times when we are busy or when we are occupied in something or when we are angry, many a times we end up doing unconscious decisions many times. For example, you're driving, suddenly you get one message on your phone telling that 1 lakh rupees has been deducted, and you're shocked looking at that, and suddenly somebody calls you and tells, sir, 1 lakh rupees has been deducted from your account and one more transaction is happening. If you want that transaction to be stopped, please give the OTP that you have received. And you know you should not be giving, but still you end up giving. Why? Because unconscious emotion. So implicit response and explicit response, this is what we tell. So 95% of the times you are hacked because of social engineering techniques. It can be dumpster diving, it can be Trojan horses or reverse social engineering, phishing, role playing. Phishing is 35% of the times it is phishing. So we will see what these various attacks are. So one by one, before that, if at all you are sitting at a place where your system can be seen by somebody who is sitting next to you, or you are at a place where there is a glass chamber behind you, my sincere request for all of you is, please put this windscreen privacy filter. It will cost you only about 3,000 to 4,000 rupees depending upon the company, but please put this, because when this is put, the person sitting next to you will not be able to see what you are typing on your screen. Or many a times what happens, there can be a CC camera on the top, and whatever work you're doing, the CC camera can be recording. So if at all this type of screen is put, then nobody other than you can see the screen, because that is how those polarized screens work. So this is the first thing. And you know that in most of the offices you have a machine called as a shredder. So what does a shredder do? You put the piece of paper inside it and then it shreds it into pieces. Okay, and that is how it is discarded, especially if they're important files. So the other day there was a case wherein the raid happened, and when the raid happened, this man, the main guy in the office, he takes those important documents and puts it inside the shredder, and pointed. And what this guy again does is he removes those pieces of paper and throws it outside. Okay, so this person calls me up and tells, sir, what do we do? The important documents are all shredded. I said, don't worry, you take each and every piece of those documents and you place it on the floor. Place it on the floor. Okay, this way, like for example, these are the documents that are shredded. Place it on the floor. And I told him there is a software. Okay, there's a software called as Unshredder. So you guys can go and check for it. Unshredder. You go to that Unshredder. It's an AI-based wonderful software. You just take a photograph of all the shredded documents. Unshredder would put it back to you, just like how a jigsaw puzzle, which is all in different places, can be made into one beautiful picture. Similarly, Unshredder can get back all those pieces and reconstruct the document using artificial intelligence. So this is the era, as Registrar Sir has rightly said, this is the era where we are living in, where the technology has superseded at an exponential level. So I'll be talking about various cyber crimes very quickly. Number one is everybody loves Singham. Everybody loves to have police as their friends, and off lately, many police officers are sending friend requests to people, and people have accepted them. And many of them fail to understand that it is not a real police officer, but it's an hacker who has just put the photograph of the police. And what they do is they ask for 2,000 or 5,000 rupees to be paid. They tell they're in the hospital, urgently transfer, and people have transferred. Educated people have transferred, intelligent people have transferred, unfortunately believing that these are the real genuine requests. So my dear friends, please do not believe if somebody is asking for money. Call them and then find out. And especially many girls, what they do is they don't open their the profiles on Facebook, and most of them are on Instagram. And when I asked them, like, why Instagram, so they told me, sir, because on Instagram the display photo you cannot open it. But I said, you're absolutely wrong, because there is a website called instadp.com. You search for anybody's username there, and you can just get a high resolution photograph of their display photo. So there are tools, because Sanjay Sahai sir has rightly said, hacking is the new normal, my dear friends. Okay, and as per the section 66C of the IT Act, creating a fake profile, creating a fake email address on somebody's name, creating something else to be pretending to be something else amounts to identity theft, and that will cost you 3 years of imprisonment or 1 lakh rupees fine. So please be careful with regard to this. Simply do not create fake profiles of your friends for ragging or for trolling, because for trolling we do all these things. No, if you are trolling, be prepared for this identity theft. Because what you can do, you can go to your privacy settings and make sure that all your friend list is made private. People should not get to know who your friends are, because they can create a fake profile and start sending friend requests to all your friends, and what your friends think, because once somebody crosses 5,000 friends in their contact list, then they cannot add more friends, so they create one more profile. That is what they think. It's a new profile that a friend request is coming. No, please make sure that the hacker does not get to know who your friends are. Coming to the second one. So the other day, I showed this and I asked people, what is this? And people said, what is it, sir? It looks like the Onida ghost. I said, no, this is a coffee vending machine which has been attacked by ransomware. Yes, my dear friends, coffee vending machines are also getting attacked by ransomware. So what exactly is a ransomware? So ransomware is a new generation cyber attack wherein all the files on your system gets encrypted, and the hacker gives you a time and he tells, within this time, if you don't pay me money in bitcoins, I'll make sure that all the files on your system gets erased. Okay, not deleted, erased, which means you cannot even retrieve it back. So this is how these ransomware works. And recently, even Suzanne Roshan, she happened to click on something and her Instagram profile got hacked. So many a times what happens is ransomware, how it works. So you click on a link or you visit a website, and a software gets installed on your system. It is called as a malware. And once it gets installed, it makes sure that every file in your computer gets encrypted, which means locked. And the hacker tells, if you want the key to unlock, you have to pay money. And in 2019, every 14 seconds there was a ransomware attack. And in Bangalore there have been so many attacks. In Karnataka there have been so many attacks. It's unfortunate that people are getting, I almost get 2 to 3 calls every day where they tell, sir, all the computer, all the files have got encrypted. Just imagine, I have this talk today, and just 15 minutes before the talk commences, all the system, all the files on my system gets encrypted. it's going to be terrible, isn't it? I can't give my talk because everything is locked, and then I'm forced to pay to the person. The problem is, if you pay, you don't know whether that person would give you the key or demand more money. So this is how it is, because we are living in the era of Internet of Things, where all the digital devices that we use are connected. So it can happen. See, this woman. So what happened is, she had a boyfriend, and both of them wore the same Fitbit watch, and they were having couple goals of working out together. And then one day the boyfriend tells, I want to go somewhere because I have a office work, and he goes for 3 days. And when she checks the activity log at 4 a.m. in the morning, it was showing spikes in the activity. So that shows that, this guy was cheating on her. She got to know that, and they broke off. So see how much this penetration of technology in our lives can reveal so many things about her. So the boyfriend never, even in his weirdest dreams, must have thought that she would get to know, but she got to know because of the Fitbit watch. Okay, so for those people who thought at 4 a.m. he was waking up and doing Surya Namaskar, well, I appreciate that. But it is always good to do Surya Namaskar, because it is going to improve your immunity, and it is going to make you much more fitter and stronger. And more than 6 billion fake emails are sent every day. This is a huge number, 6 billion fake. It is much more than the regular emails that are being sent and received. This is the fake emails which are being sent. So we are living in a very dangerous world. So when it comes to fake things, it can be by SMS, called as smishing. It can be by phone, called wishing. It can be by email, called phishing. Specifically targeting, spear phishing. Targeting your boss, called as whaling. So these are the different terms. So there are many more cyber attacks which I want you to know. So you can visit this website called cybersafegirl.com, and you can download the ebook. You can take a certification course. Certification is available. So I request you to please visit this website. And the web threat report says that 35% of the websites are unsafe. Okay, 35%. So when you click on something, out of the 3 clicks that you do on the links, one is at high risk or moderate risk or low risk. So this is the era that we're living in. So anytime you receive a file, or you get a URL, or you get a APK file, whatever it may be, please visit this website called virusportal.com. Upload it there. It is free. Upload it there, and it will tell you whether that file that you have received, whether the URL that you are going to click on, whether it is safe or not. I know it is not possible to do every time, but when you receive from contacts whom you don't trust, it is better to take this extra layer of safety. So one extra mile, if you walk, nothing will happen. It can help your system from not getting compromised, because just like you go to a hotel and you get a menu card telling that idli sambar 15 rupees or masala dosa 35 rupees. Similarly, there is a menu card set up by cyber criminals called cybercrime as a service. You've heard of software as a service, platform as a service, and things like that. So this is cybercrime as a service. So email hacking, $500. Social media hacking, $230. Changing school grades, $1,200. Okay, so look how dangerous things are. Setting up a keylogger on somebody's system, $170. So things like that. The next one. This is very common for a boy or a girl to keep sending photos, and here there is a boy who tells his girlfriend, please send me one photo before I go to sleep. Now the girl, she is in dilemma. If I send, what if he misuses the photo? If I don't send, what if he does emotional atyachar? So things like that. But finally she makes up her mind and sends it, and as most of you do, even if you think that the messengers that you're using is safe, think again, because yes, they tell that they are 256-bit or 128-bit secure, encrypted, and so on and so forth. But in fact, nothing is really safe. Nothing is really safe. Nothing is hack proof. Is there any company in the world which can tell that we are hack proof, or nobody can hack us, we are absolutely safe. No. So you have to be very careful. So the next point is, this is one more thing. Now look at this. You opening many tabs, and look at that Gmail tab. In fact, it is not the Gmail tab, it is Quora tab. So this is called as tab napping, where on the tab at the top it makes you look like it is the real site that you're visiting, and the site looks real, but the URL there is something else. So many criminals use tab napping. So my dear friends, before you visit any website, not just look at the screen, you read the URL also, because the URL can be some fake URL. The site might look same, because there is an attack called as fake login screen, where they can make you believe that the screen that you're seeing is the same, because fake login screen designing is no big deal. So this is what happens to tab napping. Fifth one. So look at this. A boy gets a request from a girl, a very pretty looking girl. So I always tell, if a beautiful girl sends a friend request to a guy, I repeat, if a beautiful girl sends a friend request to a guy, do not accept him. Okay, yes, you heard it right. Do not accept him, because 90% of the cases, the requests that you get are from men who are cyber criminals or hackers, and not actually from women. And the survey also showed that the Facebook has got much more female accounts created, profiles created, than actually the number of females that are there at certain places. So you know how it works. And this is one common attack that's happening to many people. You get a friend request, the girl asks for your number, then she tells come for a video call, and then she removes her clothes, and you also not give me the money. I am going to leak whatever video call we have done to your family and friends. And people are totally devastated by that. Many of those people whom I personally know have got subjected to such attacks, and this is nothing but sextortion. This is nothing but blackmailing, where they ask you for more and more money. They ask for 8,000 rupees first. Once you pay 8,000, they will ask you for 8,000 again. So this is a never ending loop. So please be careful. Do not accept video calls of random numbers or people whom you have just met or whom you don't know. These are the messages. Saw your nudes, send $1, or I will send it to your parents. So things like that are happening. So be very, very careful. And if at all, my dear friends, if you are subjected to this, you never know, because you must have called and you are subjected to this, immediately go to the police station and complain. Immediately, and the police know what to do. What are those damage control mechanisms that can be taken? The police know. But please go. Then do not resort to any useless things that come into your mind, or do not sit quietly. You need to speak up. Okay. So this is one image that I've put. So before sending photos, are you sure that you want to send this photo? Are you sure that you can trust the recipient? Are you sure that he is somebody who he claims to be? Are you sure that you want to give him something that can hold over your head for more personal and compromising images? Are you sure he won't threaten you later? Are you sure you want to give him that much power? And are you sure you can trust that app that you're sending? So I'm 100% sure that you can't be sure. So which means sending photos is dangerous. Okay. Number 6. So look at this, the original photo, and somebody has just morphed it, and he has put his photo with Modi ji. And you can look at this also, me with Modi ji. I don't know whether you'll believe this or not. So if you believe it, type in the comment section, I believe. If you think it is fake, please type fake. Okay, so this is how it is. Anybody can put photos, and now a new era where it is called as deep fakes. With one photo, you can create a video, or with your video, you can superimpose somebody's face and you can make it look like it is that person using AI. So we are living in this era, and a lot of people put their children's photo, which are used for child pornography images, and many of them put their photos, which are again used against them, and people are getting arrested also. My dear friends, in India, downloading porn is not a crime. Okay, uploading is a crime. Watching is not a crime, but uploading downloading, searching child pornography is a crime. So if at all you search for something like that, the police gets to know, and they will get to know, because anything that you do is getting monitored. So recently 41 people in Kerala were arrested for searching child pornography. So be very careful. And there are tools. If it can be just inserted into your computer, it can tell whether your system has got pornography or not. Because many a times what people do is they hide, they create secret folders, or they put it in different drives and things like that. Nothing will work. These tools can detect whether your computer has got pornography or not. So be very careful. Okay, just like how Swachh Bharat is required, Swachh device is also very, very important. So and also there are tools which can tell what are those sites that you've browsed. So this is called as browser forensics. So you have searched for something, it can tell you how many times you have searched, or what time you have searched, and things like that. So browser history also, you might have thought that I've deleted it. No, no, no. Even if you have deleted it, there are tools which can retrieve it. So my dear friends, IT Act is one act that you need to go through. You need to understand what you can do and what you can't do. Don't think you can do anything and everything. And I have very clearly mentioned the IT Act on the Cyber Safe Girl book, so you can download it and you can read it. Number 7. So the other day, a girl gets a message telling that these MAC lipsticks, I know the girls like these MAC lipsticks, very expensive lipsticks, and she got a message telling that these lipsticks, otherwise which cost about 2,500-3,000 rupees, is available for only 300 rupees. And the girl was shocked, and she got a message telling that it is from Amazon.com. Okay, so now look at this. Okay, Tracksoft.com, Tracksoft.com. So 3 websites are there. Everything looks the same. So which is different? Now, my dear friends, understand. Apple.com, you can look at here. Whether this is the real, no, this is also a fake Apple. But no spelling mistake, everything looks the same. How is this possible? Because internet domain names are not only in Latin, but they are also in Cyrillic, they are also in other Armenian languages also. So look at this. Whenever you hold the A button on your mobile keypad for a long press, you get different types of A. Similarly, all the vowels, A, E, I, O, U, you can get different types. The same A is used here. The E is also not the same one. So people are these days buying domain names in which look similar to your name, your company name, but they are fake. So this is called as IDN attack, which is Internet Domain Name Homograph attack, or also called as homographic domain attack. Be very careful before you click on any link. Now you may ask, what do I do? All the link look same. So you can go to this website called as, I don't know how it's pronounced, it's either punny or punycoder.com. You can go to this website, paste the link there, and convert it to Punycode. Now look at this over here. It looks like Wikipedia. In fact, it is not Wikipedia. It is a IDN homograph domain. So be very, very careful. And many a times what happens is they can send such links to you. You click on the link, a keylogger gets installed on your system, or somebody can also put a keylogger at the back of your computer, because many of us do not go back and see what is there and what is not there. So what happens is if a keylogger is installed on a system, whatever you type, one copy goes to the hacker. And hacking is the new normal. Be very, very careful. Don't believe everything and anything. So number 8, I told you that time, posting photos is very dangerous, because you can use tools like Google Lens to find out what it is, where it was clicked. Or people can also use reverse image search, because I know many would ask this question: how would the hacker get to know if the GPS coordinates are disabled? In my phone, I have disabled GPS coordinates. Yes, you might have disabled, but the hacker can do reverse image search. The hacker can use Google Lens and other tools and find out the place where the photo was clicked. Be careful. Number 9. So many of them get these scratch cards on different groups. You click on the link, you get a scratch card, 899.1, scan QR code, and then your money just goes off from the account. Remember, my dear friends, whenever you are receiving money, the UPI apps will never ask for your UPI PIN. Whenever you are sending money, it will ask for the UPI pin. I repeat, whenever you are receiving money, it will never ask. So if somebody is sending money to you, asks you to scan QR code, don't scan, because you don't have to scan. He has to scan your QR code. Similarly, when somebody is sending money to you, if it comes like 5,000 received, enter UPI. Don't enter, because you don't have to enter for receiving the money. And the OLX people have many times put these warning messages. Still the people are getting attacked. And you can also use one new type of a credit and a debit card that's available, especially the debit card called net safe cards. So net safe cards are these cards which HDFC Bank provides, wherein it creates one virtual 16-digit code and CVV number and expiry date. So you use it. After that transaction, that card is void. So which means you can specify how much rupees virtual card you need. You create that virtual card, you do the online transaction, and then the card is gone. So even if somebody has captured the data of your debit and credit card, he cannot do anything, because that card is valid only once. Similarly, look at this. One girl was sitting next to me in the plane, and she gets down, she takes a boarding pass and she puts it into the dustbin. Remember, my dear friends, from the boarding pass, you see the QR code there. If you scan the QR code using certain software like Read My Bob, Bob stands for boarding pass, you can get all the details about the customer, their flying history, their address, their phone number, and so on and so forth. So much of information. So be careful, not just your digital things, like your mobile or your computer and things like that. Even your physical things which has got something to do with technology, if it has barcode, if it has a QR code, you have to discard them very responsibly. Otherwise, somebody can take it. Even I have seen many people, their luggage, they still don't remove that baggage tags from their luggage. But with that baggage tag, a lot of information about you can be scanned. So be careful. Number 10, many of you have these cards which has got that Wi-Fi symbol called as NFC or the RFID cards. Remember, 2,000 rupees transaction in India can be done with these cards without your OTP or your ATM PIN code. It can be done. Therefore, if at all you have these cards with you, if you have these cards, just type yes in the comment section. If you have these cards with you, please buy these RFID sleeves, which are available for just 50 bucks. Okay, just for 50 or 60 bucks, you get them. You buy these sleeves and put your card in that, and you put it inside. Recently, I did a workshop for the bank employees of Andhra Bank, and they have promised that every card issued henceforth, like they're putting it across, will come with these RFID sleeves. But I also pray that other banks also come and give the cards with RFID sleeves, because you keep the card in your regular wallet. Somebody comes with a credit card or debit card reader, stands behind you near your wallet and just keeps the reader, and 2,000 rupees is gone, and you would not even know where the money has gone. So be careful. Number 11. If at all you get these links like you have been tested COVID positive, click on the link. Please don't click, because a lot of these nonsense things are happening these days. If you have Arogya Setu, in that if it comes, believe it. But if you get simple SMSs like this, no, because they're all, a lot of domains have been created since COVID with the COVID name. I was told that more than 20,000 domains were created for phishing and other activities. Okay, and 32% of data breaches involve phishing. So number 12, the other day on Instagram, there was a room called Boys Locker Room that was created, and they were sharing photos of girls, and they were commenting with very lewd messages. So be very careful before you upload your photos, because you have to do this reconnaissance. I told you, do a Google search about yourself. Try to find out how much of your information, your private information, is public. You need to know, because many a times what can happen is you end up talking to somebody and they post your photos or videos somewhere. You don't want that to happen. So be very careful. And the other day, there was a thief who was arrested from one of the houses. And when the cops caught him and they asked, you came to rob, but why are you sitting in the hall and munching on chips and drinking beer, watching TV, watching football? So the thief tells, sir, the person who is the owner of the house had posted on his Facebook, going to Goa for the next 5 days. but I did not know that he will be back in 3 days, sir. So this is how it is. We post everything. We check in at different places. See, for example, the other day, one girl had checked in that she went to the beach at one place, and then that beach was a secluded beach, and those people came and they attacked her. So all these things can happen. Don't post so much of your information on internet so that you are making it easier for others to snoop on you. So now the point here is, the next question is, which was the first programmable electronic general purpose digital computer? If you know the answer, please comment below. So yes, the answer is ENIAC. So ENIAC is the first one. Construction began in 1943, and was not completed till 1946. 1,800 square feet, so huge. 18,000 vacuum tubes, and it was about 50 tons. My goodness, 1 ton is 1,000 kilo, so 50 tons. So now, just like how these outdated machines you would not use today, similarly, when it comes to your apps also, if you don't patch them, if you don't update them, it becomes outdated and it becomes easier for the hackers to hack. So the 13th point was, update your apps. Update it regularly. Whenever your phone tells that updates available, what we do, we put later, postpone. Why? Because our internet data gets exhausted if the data is getting downloaded. My dear friends, they ask for updates only when they know that there are loopholes and they want to plug those loopholes, because if the loopholes are there, the hackers can come and attack you. Therefore, to plug the loopholes, they come with updates. Whenever you get updates, immediately update it. Number 14 is a lot of fake news. Colleges are not going to open, or this semester every student is made to pass. All these fake news, a lot of fake news are there. So if at all you get any fake news and you want to check whether it is fake news, my request, please go to this website called snopes.com and check. There it is a fake news buster. Even the Press Information Bureau of India has come out with fake news buster. Karnataka Police have also come out with fake news buster. So it is better you verify before forwarding. My dear friends, forwarding is endorsing. So you get any information on your WhatsApp and you just forward it. You can't tell somebody sent, so I forwarded. No, forwarding is endorsing. So you are also liable for the penalty. So be careful. Number 15 is lots of social media these days we are using, Snapchat, Instagram. So if you feel that it is taking a lot of your time, please use anti-social, off time, onward, or quality time. These are the apps which are used for filtering programs and making sure that you don't waste your time online. And also, don't use these apps, especially the women. They use apps for checking their monthly cycles and things like that. Please don't, because if they know that you have missed a cycle, they can blackmail you. They can tell that you're going to tell your parents or you pay money. So such many instances have come where some shady apps people are using and they're getting affected by that. Even loan apps, many shark apps, these are loan sharks we call them. So many apps which are promising to give you immediate money, because everybody needs money these days during COVID, but their interest rates are exorbitant, and if you don't pay, they harass not just you, they harass your friends also. So please be careful. And the last point, the 16th one, whenever you receive links like these, you know that. Last time I told you, you get a QR code. Before scanning it, check where it goes. I mean, once you scan, see the link, simply don't click on the link. Check what the link is. Similarly, many times what we do is long URLs, we shorten it and you would not know where it goes. So my request is, please go to this website called Expand URL, paste that short URL, expand it, see where it goes. Only if you know that, okay, this is a genuine site, then click on it. Otherwise, just expand it and just close it off. Don't go to click on them, because many people, there is an attack called drive-by downloads, where you click on a link and automatically from the back end, the malware gets installed on your device. You would not even know, because 99% of us have expensive phones. We have the best of the phones, but we don't have paid antivirus. How many of you have paid antivirus? Please comment in the comment section there, telling that I have. I'm pretty sure that most of us don't have. So the first thing that you need to do is go and buy a paid antivirus. It will cost you not more than 600 to 800 rupees per year, but it would keep your phones safe and secure. And please use this tool, haveibeenpawned.com. Go and put your email address there. Don't put your password, just put your email address at haveibeenpawned.com. And if the screen turns red, that means your data has been compromised. Time to change your password and time to opt for multi-factor authentication. It can be OTP, it can be YubiKey, it can be anything, but multi-factor authentication is required. And as I said, people are snooping on you. People want to know about you. So you get these small USB type devices which can be kept in the room and it can record for 21 days non-stop. Or they can keep a small device as small as a palm in the dicky of your car, and 3 years it can give your GPS location to that person. So be careful, my dear friends. People are snooping on you. And they can keep hidden cameras. So if the hidden camera is there, you can buy this device, which is a hidden camera or a bug detector, we call it. So it will tell if there are any communicating devices that are there in your room. So if at all you feel that you're getting snooped, or if you have that fear that somebody is snooping on you, or somebody is trying to gain access or trying to hack your accounts, be more vigilant and more careful. And if at all you like this cybersecurity domain, feel free to contact me. I would be very happy to send some more details to you and be in touch with you. And this is the best operating system which loads from a pen drive. Yes, it just loads from a pen drive. It's called Tails, and it is one of the best, safest, secure operating systems, especially for ethical hackers. Or you can also use tools like Paladin, which has got 100+ tools with regard to ethical hacking. And also, the last point which I want to tell is, many of us use digital devices. Our head weighs about 4 to 5 kilo, but if we keep it at a 0-degree angle, it's 4 kilo. We keep it 15-degree angle, it's 12 kilo. 30-degree, 17 kilo. 45-degree, 22 kilo, and 60-degree, it is 27 kilo. That is why many of us have got neck pain these days. So, my dear friends, next time you're using a digital device, make sure that it is at 0-degree. You don't strain your neck, because you don't want repetitive strain injury. And for every 20 minutes of screen time, for 20 seconds, look 20 feet away. This way you can take care of your eyes. And also, one more thing is, as soon as you get up early in the morning, don't look at the screen. As soon as before you go to sleep, when it is dark, don't look at the screen. And wear glasses like this. These are called as blue ray protection glasses. So the digital device emit these blue light, so this blocks them. It starts at 990 rupees. You can buy glasses like this to take care of your eyes. So anyways, I have just exceeded 5 minutes. Please excuse me for that. So if you have any questions, you can ask. And I also mentioned about crypto jacking. So crypto jacking is where the Bitcoin comes into picture, where a lot of people these days are dealing with Bitcoins. So to mine Bitcoins, they need resource, they need computational power. So what they do is they hijack your computer and use your processor for mining Bitcoins. Terrible, isn't it? That is why many of you feel, my computer has become slow. My computer is not behaving like before. Why? Because your system might be a victim of crypto jacking. So don't look at the screen when it is too dark. Be careful. Okay. So this is my contact details. I am not available over calls. You can WhatsApp me. Then my email address, my Facebook. And I'm grateful to my chairman, Dr. Manjunath Bandari ji of Sayadri College, for giving me an opportunity, and also supporting all the staff members. And recently we had also applied for the BGST grant, and we received 50 lakhs grant for setting up a center of excellence in digital forensics, intelligence, and cybersecurity at Sayadri. And all the people attending this webinar, you're most welcome to come and visit our lab from the next month. If you're interested to collaborate, most welcome. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity.
Sir, excellent presentation, sir. One should thank, without a stop, who had been highlighting about the cyber crime different. without a knowledge, as we're rightly telling, 95% of them know that they are, hacked. 5% of us even are not aware it has been hacked or not. The session has been shared live on the Facebook and YouTube, sir. And lots of thank you messages have been coming across, sir. They have been telling, one of the question a person participant has asked, Aadhaar card based biometric can be hacked.
Okay, so as I said, there is nothing in this world that cannot be hacked. So whether Aadhaar card can be hacked or whether your driving license can be hacked, I don't want to get into the details of it because I have not worked on it. But as Aadhaar card has come with an extra layer of security, which is called as virtual Aadhaar. So what you can do is you can go to the Aadhaar card website and you can log in and you can generate a virtual Aadhaar. And you can give the virtual Aadhaar number to your people who are asking for your Aadhaar details. So this way you can stay safe because virtual Aadhaar does not reveal all the details what your Aadhaar reveals. So this is one fantastic feature that the government of India has come up with called virtual Aadhaar. So this is available in the login of your Aadhaar portal.
Thank you, sir. Hope the participant has got the answer for the query he has texted. Next question, sir. Will the incognitive mode data saved in Google server? Will the mode data saved in Google server?
Incognito is a very insecure way of browsing the internet. It only makes sure that it does not save cache details and it does not save your history on the system. But otherwise, everything, your browser fingerprint or your details, your IP address, your every details are stored. So if you really want privacy, please use Tor, Tor, the onion router Tor browser, but not incognito mode. Incognito is absolutely unsafe.
That was from thing. So one more question from a person, Neil Anvekar. He says, which browser to use to access online banking? Even in online banking, we heard that there is a fake account in network links are there. So how to know which is the genuine, and how to know which is the fake one, sir?
You can use any browser, any good browser. I use Chrome. You can use Microsoft Edge. You can use Mozilla Firefox. You can use any of them, but make sure that they're updated regularly because many people do not update their browser. So no point whichever browser you use if it's not updated, number one. Second, when you're doing the online transactions, there is an option there called as virtual keyboard. Okay, I repeat, virtual keyboard. It is there. Don't use your regular keyboard. Use the virtual keyboard for entering your username and password. So this way you can be slightly.
Thank you, sir. There is one of the participants has asked about, can you highlight on about DNS poisoning? DNS poisoning.
Okay. So this is a type of an attack which is not very common. Of course, it is possible, but not very easy again. Now, Pankajakshi ma'am. So I remember your name, but I will not remember your phone number. Okay. So for that, I have a contact in my phone. I have an app called as Contacts in which I have saved your name and your phone number. So if I type Pankajakshi and I press, your phone number shows and I can call. So to make a call, I need your phone number, not your name, because names cannot make phone calls. So I need your phone number. Similarly, to access any computer on the internet, you need the IP address. Now, if you have to access Facebook, you need the IP address of the Facebook server. Now, where are these IP addresses saved? The IP addresses of these websites are saved in a computer, special computer called as DNS, that is domain name server. So whenever you type facebook.com, the DNS server tells you which is the IP address. So you're requesting the DNS first. What is the IP address? The DNS gives you the IP address, and then you connect to the Facebook server. So if at all you think any website that you enter, you're directly connecting, you're wrong. Anytime when you are entering a website, you don't directly connect to the website. You first connect to the DNS. DNS gives you the IP, and then you connect to the server. So this is how the process is. Now that DNS, which has the details of all the IP addresses, if that IP addresses are tweaked Or if somebody asks for a Facebook IP address and you give the IP address of a porn website. Now, why does that come? Because that has been poisoned there. So this has happened many times where you are in a meeting and in front of everybody you are going to present something. So you type google.com and suddenly one porn website opens up. So of course it is possible. That is why it is better Google DNS. So Google has their own DNS. Use Google DNS. They are much safe and secure rather than using some third party or ISP DNS. Ma'am, you're muted.
Sir, is it using Fiona P and Paytm is safe?
Nothing is safe. Only Saif Ali Khan is safe.
Yes, sir. But today, due to this pandemic situation, most of us, instead of carrying cash, we all do online transactions either through Google Pay or Paytm. Lots of people have showed their affection and respect, telling that very informative information,
I want
really.
to add a point. I want to add a point, ma'am. Now, this is my suggestion for Tanuja, ma'am. So, Tanuja, ma'am. So if you're going to do, yes, ma'am. If you're going to do an online transaction, okay, make sure that you have two accounts. One account exclusively for online transaction, which will not have more than 10,000 rupees. Another account which has got the crores of rupees that you have stacked. No net banking there.
If you have crores of rupees.
No net banking there. So that way, you whatever money you have, it is safe. And the account now you may ask me this question, sir. I want to buy a Samsung phone which costs 20,000 rupees, but my account has got only 10,000 rupees. The online transaction account, no problem. Ask somebody to transfer money to that account and give them the money, or go to the bank and deposit cash to that account. But make sure that the online account does not have more than 10,000 rupees at any point in time, so that if any hacker tries to hack into your account, the maximum damage that he or she could do is only 10,000 rupees.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for the input. Sir, one more the observation what I made, and it is I wanted a solution for this. Just 3 days back, it so happened one of our neighbor, son is in 9th standard, playing some games, online games, almost 50 to 60,000, which was kept at home. They have used it along with his friends of 5 people. And the police case was filed, and finally they got to know, the parents got to know it was the son who had used it. And when it was checked, they were supposed to recharge with the nearby shop. So this, they are not that well off also. How to stop this sort of thing, sir? Because the child is hardly 14 years and he doesn't know whether it is right or wrong. But he has been charged almost 60,000, was not a small amount. And the shopper also has not stopped or not inquired why the charging has been done again and again to one particular game, sir. So how to educate the child and how to sort? Because there must be something to stop such sort of activity.
So just to give you a out of the context example, assume that 10 or 15 people go on a strike and suddenly police will come and do lathi charge. And one fellow gets one hit on his back and another fellow gets okay. So when the first fellow gets one, he goes and tells me, I got one hit on my back. And the other guy tells, I got 3. So this fellow will feel happy. I got 1, the other fellow got 3. So what you do today is you go and show your neighbor today's newspaper, which shows that one kid has used that same way to buy apps on their phone, because while playing games, there is something called as in-app purchases, where you get more guns, you get more power, you get more things by paying money. And that the transaction amount that has happened in Apple, it was an Apple phone, 11 lakh rupees, 11 lakhs. So 60,000 is nothing. So you tell that parent, 11 lakh rupees has gone today, be happy with the 60,000. Number 2 is every phone, whether it is Android or iPhone, it's got something called parental controls. So what I request you to do is go to YouTube today and you can just type parental controls on Android, parental controls on iPhone, and it will tell you what are those things that you need to do. to ensure that when you're giving the phone to the child, because every parent is giving their child. Recently, I heard 2 days back, a divorce happened because the father gave the phone to his daughter, and the daughter, when she was checking photos, she saw her father with having an affair with some other woman. So parents have to be very careful while giving their phones to their children. So the point here is parental control. So if you are unable to find parental control, I have made a fantastic video about parental controls on iPhone as well as Android. I'll send that video to you. Contact me. You're muted.
Sir, with your permission, can we take other 5 more minutes? So there are a couple of questions are there. Viewers, is it safe to log on to a website through Google account?
No. Now that person will ask a counter question to me, because CyberSafe Girl uses only Google account for logging in, because I have not given any other approach. But CyberSafe Girl is a very safe website, so there I don't say it's 100% safe again. But then why we have given on Google account is to ensure that we get only genuine people getting into it. So wherever websites have got options to create a profile, invest that 1 or 2 minutes extra and create a profile rather than logging in from Google account. Even if it is from Google account, check what it is going to ask you, because the Google the account tells it wants to access your mail, access your calendar, access your contacts. Say no, don't give all these permissions at all. Just for login sake, you can probably just give. Mute.
Sorry, sir. Sir, it is, how does brute force method work? Does it really go through all possible outcomes starting from A? Also, is it traceable back to the hacker if he doesn't personally access the account?
Brute force is one method which makes use of random combinations, permutations and combinations, like for example, 7-digit password. So all the combinations it checks. So you know that if you enter a password wrong more than 3 times, it will not allow you to again log in. And more than 5 times, it block your account. So brute force would work if that site does not have this type of an authentication limitation, one. Or you directly get access to the server where you can check various combinations and permutations. But otherwise, this is not a good approach at all.
Sir, one thing, how and where to complain cybercrime?
You don't even have to get up, you can sit at home and only lodge a complaint. So the government of India has got a fantastic website called cybercrime.gov.in. I repeat, cybercrime.gov.in is the website. Go to that website, you can lodge an FIR straight away. You don't have to even go to a police station.
So there are a couple of other questions more. Maybe this is the last question. I'm sorry, sir, I'm extending a little more. Using Google Drive is safe to store your data, because most of the time we store it and we buy.
Nothing. Don't store your data on the cloud, because
then where to store our data?
Store it in a pen drive, store it in a hard drive, store it in a network attached storage drive inside your premise only. But don't the confidential data, don't keep it on the cloud, because show me any company that has not been hacked or compromised. So if you're okay with the data being compromised, it's fine. In my case, I don't mind my data getting hacked. I don't have any such data. So hack it, no problem. I have stored most of the things on Google. So people tell you, give your email address openly. I said, yeah, I give it. What is that? If you want, hack it. No problem, because I have nothing to lose. But the email that I show people and the email that I use are different. They're not the same.
Thank you, sir, for patiently answering all the queries. There's a couple of more questions on the on the chat box on YouTube and Facebook. Maybe the participants can post or email the questions to you in person and get the queries. Really, sir, excellent session. And there were certain things also which we got to learn a lot about cybercrime. As you were telling very clearly, it is not safe. Yes, I know, like, I said, is it safe to use a common password for all the accounts, or you need to have a different password?
Don't even suggest that your enemy also. Don't even suggest that your enemy. No.
But it is easy to remember, no, sir.
At least change the last digit.
Oh, is it so? Thank you, sir. I'll do that. Thank you for the suggestion, sir. I take this opportunity to thank sir. Really, you have given lots of thought. I mean, to think as it when in your presentation very clearly told, information is like an oxygen of the modern age. Today, any person, let it be 3 years or even I have my co-daughter, hardly 3.5 years, but she knows where to see for which rhyme and. The gadgets have been a boon and bane also. On the health matter part of it also, it told how it can harm an individual's, physical, mental life also. And there were lots of things which you took us through, which even I could never imagine such things can happen behind our back. So thank you, sir, for showing lots of, telling us about the importance and highlighting what cybercrime is all about. So instead of reacting to a situation what has already taken place, it's better to be proactive. And I'm sure his slides gave lots of thought and also certain information, things which we need to carry on. And as an academicians, today find due to the technological developments, most of the academicians, we as a teacher, online platform you're using, apart from IT professionals, maybe we need to also think on this and take it as a positively. Everything which comes with a pinch of salt, but we need to see the positive aspects of it and see that for the betterment of the society, we need to work towards it. Thank you, sir, for sharing the session with us on cybercrime. Hope to see you very shortly. Now I request Mrs. Vani Sri Raghuveer, member of Women's Cell, to give vote of thanks.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನಡೆಸಲು ಅನುಮತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಕುಲಪತಿಗಳಾದಂತಹ ಆನರೇಬಲ್ ವೈಸ್ ಚಾನ್ಸಲರ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕರಿಸಿದ್ದಪ್ಪ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಘಟಕದಿಂದ ಅನಂತ ವಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. ನಂತರ ಈ ನಮ್ಮ ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಆನ್ ಸೈಬರ್ ಕ್ರೈಮ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಡಲು ನಮ್ಮ ಆಹ್ವಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಮನವಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಂದಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀ ಅನಂತ್ ಪ್ರಭು ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ಸಂಗ್ ಹೀರೋ, ರಿಯಲಿ ಯುವರ್ ಅನ್ಸಂಗ್ ಹೀರೋ ಸರ್. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ಈಗ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೇನೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಬೇಬೀಸ್ಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ ಸರ್. ಅವು ಆ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಬೇಬೀಸ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಅವಾಗ ನೀವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಬೇಬೀಗಳಿಗೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ವಿನಂತಿಯನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ ಸರ್. ಮುಂದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸತತವಾಗಿ ಗೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ಆನರೇಬಲ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾರ್ ಆದಂತಹ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆನಂದ್ ದೇಶಪಾಂಡೆ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಘಟಕದಿಂದ ಅನಂತ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಈ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಡಲು ಅವಿರತವಾಗಿ ಸತತವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡುತ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಘಟಕದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದ ತನುಜಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಅನಂತ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅವಿರತ ನಡೆಸಿ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟರ್ ಆದಂತಹ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪಂಕಜಾಕ್ಷಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೀರ್ತನ್ ದೀಕ್ಷಿತ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಮತಾ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಸರಸ್ವತಿ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಘಟಕದ ಸದಸ್ಯರಿಗೂ ಸಹಿತ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಅಭಿನಂದನೆ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಸರ್ ಅನಂತ್ ಪ್ರಭು ಸರ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಸರ್. ಈಗ ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ 14,000 ಹಿಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ 1000 ಪೀಪಲ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಖುಷಿ ಅನಿಸ್ತದೆ ಸರ್. ಮುಂದೆ ಈ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಡಲು ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗಿದ್ದಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಟಿಯು ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಟೀಮಿಗೆ ಸಹಿತ ನಾನು ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮಿಗಿಲಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೆಂಟಿಗೂ ಸಹಿತ ನಾನು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಹಿಳಾ ಘಟಕದ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಅನಂತ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನ ಅರ್ಪಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Thank you, madam, for giving the vote of thanks. We take this opportunity once again to thank all the authorities, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Registrar Evaluation, Finance Officer, the Chairpersons, Regional Director, all the authorities of VTU for constantly supporting us in organizing this webinar on cybercrime under women's cell. This is just a startup, sir. We have series of activities piled in again. We will be really requiring your support and see you very shortly. And the participants, the feedback link will be pasted to you or sent to your personal email IDs. We have more than 1,000 registrations, sir, which is common, as Madam has told, and we would surely keep in touch with you, sir. Thank you for your energizing and what to say, mind thought speak. Hope to see you all. And thank you, Tanuja ma'am and Manishri ma'am, for the kind support extended. Thank you, one and all participants. We will email the feedback link to you. It has also been posted in the chat box. Kindly fill the feedback link. For the e-certificates will be emailed to you at the later time. Any queries, as Dr. Anand Prabhu sir has shared his email ID, you can mail it to sir and take the guidance. Thank you once again. Thank you all. Have a blessed day. Thank you, sir. Hope to see you sometime. Thank you once
Thank you, Pankaja. Thanks for arranging such a nice webinar. I thank Anand Prabhu, sir. Sir, we will look forward to such events in a future days, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Thanks for giving a motivation, but also awareness program on this cybercrime, sir. It is really mind-blowing, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Instead of 1 hour, we have taken more than 1 hour, 45 minutes. Kindly excuse us and bear with us, sir. Hope to see you sometime. Happy evening, sir. See you. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.